It's Tuesday's MUTV Group Chat. How are you all? Good to have you with us. The lads are here: Wes Brown, Ben Thornley, Danny Webber, David May. And it's been a shambolic start, even though we've only just got underway. We should have been recorded about half an hour ago. Shambles, left, right and centre. But the lads are here. Good to see you eventually, boys. Everything all right?
Morning.
Yeah.
Maisie today, wasn't it?
Don't be having a go at me. It's coming up saying firewall protection or something, some crap. So I'm actually on my iPhone now, so I can only see 4 people. I can see Ben's moved anyway.
Well, Ben obviously from his sun trap again has had to move due to a chainsaw. Can you explain that, Ben?
I don't know. I think it must be like the Essex Chainsaw Championships going on, because at 2 minutes to 10 he started and he's never stopped since. So I apologise.
Yeah, he hadn't taken it well, Maisie. He's got that little flash of anger about him. Mate.
He's the right grumpy thing, isn't he?
He's done it on purpose. He's done it on purpose, Ben. I'm telling you. He's seen you every morning. Going in the garden, getting your razor.
If I was cynical, Wes, I think I might believe that.
Yeah. And look at his weather again. Look at his weather there again compared to ours. This is just...
Some houses there, Ben. Who's that who lives next to you? Size of the house. Jeez.
Yeah, it's quite. They've just had an extension put on it. It's nice, yeah.
All right. What are you? Are you in the granny flat?
Have you noticed I'm not showing you mine?
Must be big to get you in it.
Oh, what a start. Anyway, let's first of all have a look at some of the reaction from yesterday's shows we do on YouTube, email, and so on. This one from Jatin. Thanks for reading my comment yesterday. I've scored twice now in 36 appearances on this show, almost as prolific as Maisie. Already, Maisie, you're getting abuse.
Scandalous.
Isn't it?
Scandalous. Yeah.
Nick, you've all done so many shows now that I thought all of you would have had sponsorships by now. You're missing out, Ben. You could be advertising suntan lotion.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
Awesome glasses.
This one from Zanab, who says, disappointing. I thought Giggsy was on today. Then I thought, okay, maybe tomorrow, but I guess not. Be patient. Be patient. He's coming on this week, promise you. And Dan says, Haaland will wear a Manchester United shirt one day. Well, that is something we did discuss a little bit yesterday, Haaland, after his great performance for Dortmund at the weekend. I'm sure many people would love to see him wear a United shirt one day. Emails. Chris Kavanagh, who I don't think is the Premier League referee, but you never know. Greetings from an Irish Red in Vancouver. I watch this show every lunchtime while working from home. Love the stories, reminiscing with the great guests and the panel. Wes Brown is a cult hero. Love singing his songs in the Bishop's Blaze pre and post match with a can of Stella. There you go, Wes. You're still a cult hero.
Okay.
Let's hear the song. This one from Mark Chadwick, who says, thanks for the daily group chats. I don't know what I'd do without it, with no live football and sport in general. Please get Sir Alex on the chat. On my birthday, 26th of May, my 18th was a special one with us winning the 3rd trophy of the treble, and I share a birthday with the legendary Sir Matt Busby. What a coincidence. Keep it up, Stuart. That's from Mark Chadwick, who's in Cape Town in South Africa. And Brandon Brazier says, I'd love to see Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba on the group chat to see how well they work together next season, which I think we'd all like to see that combination. So, yeah, thanks for that. MUTV@manunited.co.uk. Other things to pick up on. First of all, you might have seen Peter Schmeichel doing a Twitter Q&A last night. One of the questions he was asked, who was the funniest teammate you've ever had? Maisie, his answer was you.
Was
Special
it?
moment for you? It was
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. The amount of abuse I gave him.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Imagine I give it everyone, so.
You don't mind it. He didn't say who was the best player you've ever played with or anything like that. No, it was who's the funniest, and you won that. It's not bad, is it?
That's nice, Stu. Yeah. Yeah. It's like me saying, who's the best presenter we've had? And I'd have to say Steve Bauer.
Yes. I think plenty would agree. And also, oh, by the way, lads, have you seen Ashley Young with hair? Have you seen the picture from Into the Land's training session? Ashley Young with hair. Obviously a shaved head normally. Now with hair, not recognizable. Is he going for a sort of Wes Brown look? What do you reckon, Wes?
No, I've seen that. He put that in the group yesterday, to be fair. I reckon he's had a transplant, but that's a different story. I'm only joking.
Is that what you said in the group?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he got worked on the group. But he looks all right. He looks good. He looks younger, I think.
I thought so. So, yeah, have a look out for that, actually. He's back in training with Inter. In fact, as you know, yesterday we spoke about Premier League clubs meeting, and Premier League clubs have been cleared to return to non-contact training today in small groups, still social distancing. That was unanimously approved at yesterday's meeting of Premier League clubs. And boys, Ben, I mean, that just shows you we're sort of stage one. We're sort of slowly on our way back.
Yeah, it is another step in the direction of getting football, back to us. I still don't understand how social distancing can work in a game of football, even in training. I just think that your instinct takes over, and I don't. It would be interesting to watch a training session and see how they implement it, because I just can't see how non-contact in football is ever going to work.
Yeah, but it's just the start, I suppose, Dan. I mean, it's just the early steps, isn't it?
Yeah, it is early steps, and like I say, it's going to be a bit of cat and mouse as to what works and what doesn't work. But with the German league and how they implemented it, it seems to be going all right. But again, sometimes you can go a little bit too far. Like you say, it is a contact sport. Maisie mentioned it yesterday about sitting on the bench, 2 meters apart. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to come on the pitch, if you're in the dressing room, you're going to come into contact. So there's common sense, and there's actually proper safety guidelines. And I just think some of it needs to be thought about a little bit more.
Yeah, but things are at least moving. Premier League clubs are allowed to return to training in a very limited way today. Let's bring on our guest, shall we, who had a fantastic career, part of the astonishing success story under Brian Clough at Forest, played for Arsenal, was Sir Alex's first signing for United. Also a pioneer, the first black footballer to play a full international for England. The great Viv Anderson is with us on the group chat. Hey, Viv, mate.
How are we, gentlemen? I've got sponsorship if nobody else. Nobody else has. Look.
Nice.
Love that, Viv.
Like it, Viv. Like it.
Welcome, chaps. Welcome.
You all right?
Yeah, good.
How's lockdown been for you? 8 weeks or how many?
Well, great. Schooling and all that rest of it. One's 9 and one's 12. It's a nightmare.
You won't be homeschooling.
Well, you're right there, but I'm overseeing. Put it that way. Delegation is the best way.
Yeah. You've done that a few times. Delegate everyone else.
He's into you straight away.
He does that to me now, Maisie. He does that to me now, Maisie.
Well, listen to you, Wes. If you ever pick up the phone, you've got a chance.
I'm on my phone all the time.
Yeah. You played Call of Duty with my son. That's what you're doing.
I do that at night, though. That's night time. That's my free time, Viv. I need a bit of space sometimes.
Is he any good, my son?
He's better than me, but I'm getting there.
Oh, right. That's the main thing, Wes. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true.
You've taught him well, Viv.
Yeah. Go in the room and play. Go in the room and play Call of Duty. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's why Wes gets up about 7 minutes to 10 before this program.
No, that's not all the time.
He's been doing well.
It's not all the time, Stu. I like to have a little lie-in sometimes.
Right, okay. Too much cod, but there you go. Just talking about your career, Viv, I mean, you played under, you could argue, the two best of all time, Brian Clough, Alex Ferguson. Unbelievable career you had, isn't it?
Yeah, I had Sir Bobby as well as England manager as well. So I've had a fair few in my time, yeah. So yeah, they're both, all the three of them are very good in what they do. The ultimate respect for them when you play for them, and they play the football in the right way, which is always encouraging. So yeah, I've been very lucky to play under three really good managers.
I read something. Were you at United as a really young kid before you went into Forest and really made it for us? Were you at United as a kid, as a schoolboy?
Yeah. I used to go every school holiday, and I used to travel up, and I stayed with Johnny Aston. Maybe you won't remember who Johnny Aston is. Johnny Aston played left wing for Man United, and I stayed with his mum and dad several occasions, and I used to come up every school holiday and train, and then sometimes we'd stop and watch Breslau and Charlton train on the next pitch, which was a great honour. And then after a year, they said, "You're useless. Go back to Nottingham. Don't come back again."
Who told you that? Who was it? Who released you?
Can I ask them?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Matt Gillis. Not Matt Gillis. Who was the manager at the time? I'm trying to think who the manager was.
Frank Farrell?
No, not quite. It'd be after him, I think.
Right. What you said Best Law in Charlton, but as a young kid, what was it like seeing them?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, to watch them train. We'd stop training and watch them train. It was just sensational, really. They were fantastic footballers, I must admit. And it was a great honour to be there at the time.
Getting the sort of the getting the hook basically after that, was that tough to take at that age?
After a year, because you're going backwards and forwards. Remember, there was all England internationals, Welsh internationals going to train Man United at the same time as me. And there's this skinny lad from Nottingham coming up. Well, he's here again. What's he doing here? You know, he's not an international. He's just a skinny lad from Nottingham. But at the end of the day, it was obviously hot. It was harrowing as a young lad. But I went back and ended up getting a job for about 6 weeks, and then Forest came along.
So what could you have been? What was the job? Things have been different.
Hey, it was a brain surgeon stroke. No, not really. It was called a silk screen printer. What that meant in them days, you used to get the sandwiches at lunchtime and just a general dodgeball. So I wouldn't have gone on to many things, in fairness.
Well, so were you there right at the start of the Clough era? Were you there when he arrived, or had he arrived when you?
No, we played Tottenham in the FA Cup. I played in the team, and then I came off with cramp 10 minutes before the end. And Mr. Clough comes in the dressing room and says, "I'm the new Nottingham Forest manager." And the replay was on the Wednesday, because this was a Saturday match. And he put a list of players, which was 23 players, on that list to travel down to London for the replay on Wednesday. And I wasn't on it. So I'm thinking, well, that's me out the door straight away. I was in the team on the Saturday. I didn't even get on the 23 on the Wednesday. So it was one of those. I'm writing my transfer request as we speak. Might as well put it in now, because I ain't going to play again.
Everyone's got Clough stories, and everybody. And what was he like with you? What was he like to work with?
Where's this going out? What time of the night? It's 9 o'clock in Asia. Remember, you've got to be careful what you say.
We've got a bleeping machine. So.
Oh, you're going to need a bleeping machine. Yeah. Listen, he was great. I mean, it was great for me. So we had some really good players at the time, and some of the stories I could tell make your hair curl. But I'll tell you one. We played in the European Cup final. Again, first one I think it was. So he takes us to Mallorca. He had a place in Mallorca. We took us to Mallorca, and he trained every day. But what do you do with 20-odd lads after you've trained? Straight in the bar. So in the bar, this is a week before the European Cup final. So we were walking down the street, and people going, "Are they seriously in the European Cup final?" Because they're all falling all over, running, walking into people. And you go, "What?" You could not believe it. So we were there for a week, trained every day, but went back, and then we went to, I think it was Madrid at the time, and we never trained again before the final. We never trained. He just to a training camp. We had no balls, just a dartboard and chessboard and things like that. No footballs at all.
What was it? Man management was his was his biggest secret then.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a bit like Sir Alex. When Sir Alex says, "I'll take training today," you go, "No, boss, no, please, no." And Cloughie was exactly the same. They earn the money on Saturdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays or whenever you play, from 3 o'clock to whenever. It was man management. He knew what to get the best out of people, and very successful at what they did.
You have to pinch yourself now, don't you, to think Nottingham Forest could win back-to-back European Cups? It's an unmatchable achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, for a side that average gate was 19,000, something like that. You know, small little provincial club that came up, managed to come up, win the league the next year, and go. Then we talked about Leicester. We got up, won the league, then won the European Cup, but then won the European Cup the second year. I said, when Leicester can do that, then you can put them in the same breath. But we had some really good players, and it was a good time.
Viv, what was it like? What was it like signing for the gaffer? Oh.
I met. I got a phone call from Robbo because we were roommates in England, and said we've got a new manager called Alec Ferguson. I said never heard of him. He goes, he wants to meet you. My contract was up at Arsenal, so I met him in a hotel in Nottingham, and I go in a specific room. And I go in the room, sits down, and the chairman walks in, Martin Edwards, and I said, he says, "Have you seen the manager?" I said, "No, I've been here 10 minutes, not seen him." He said, "Oh," he said he was coming to the room. So he goes out. I'll try and find him. Goes out, and the gaffer comes in. He goes, "Have you seen the chairman?" I went, "This happened 3 times." I'm going. What sort of football club is this, by the way?
Where's Jeremy Beadle?
We finally got in the room together, and we did the deal. Really, my contract was up anyway, and it's a boy dream to play for Manchester United. So I snapped their hands off.
Yeah. How old was you then, Viv?
48, I think, maybe.
You played like you were 48.
Thank you. No, was it early 30s, I think, something like that. I played till I was 39.
Right.
My last game was 39. So I played.
Was you part of the? Was it your fault about the big fight? Was you involved in the fight with McClare?
Listen. You mean the drinking fight?
Well, you know, when it kicked off at Old Trafford.
Against Arsenal?
Yeah.
I was playing for Arsenal at the time, yeah.
Yeah, no. Did you...
The gaffer supposedly had signed me on the strength of that game, because I was the only one who stood up to Norman Whiteside. He got young David Vocastle sent off, God rest his soul. And I kept on saying to him, "Fancy you getting that lad sent off?" You know, Norman kept on saying, "Go on, hit me. I'd love you to hit me now." I was like that. So we had a big ding dong, and we'd come there with a record of 13 games undefeated, and then little Gibbo scored, and we lost 1-0. So it ended the run of wins we had. But it was a feisty game, to say the least.
Who would have won between you and Norman?
There's only one winner there. And I'm not telling you who. Yeah. Norman? But a great story, because every time we meet up with England after that, Bob was my roommate, obviously, and I'd say, "See, that Whiteside is a right..." Well, stronger words than that, but, you know, I just say that all the time. Every time we meet up. So I joined obviously United, and he introduced me to all the lads, and we're going around saying hello, and he goes, Bobo goes, "Now, go on, say what you've said for the last 2 years, what you've said about him." So I went, "Norman, nice to meet you. I always know you're a good lad."
Yeah. Dan?
If there's one bit of advice you could give, Viv, to young lads today, what would the one thing you'd say to them coming through?
Listen to what the coaches say. Try and take on board whatever they say, you know. And you've got to be dedicated in this life, you know. If you want to go out with your mates, you're in the wrong profession. You've got to be very dedicated and listen to the coaches as much as you can, and take in what they say. They're not always right, but the good points, all the good points in, and try and implement that in your game. Really, you've got to be dedicated, and you've got to listen to people. How
did you find that? Because you went and coached afterwards, didn't you? So how did you find the transition from player to coach?
Hopeless. Yeah. Because I went to be a player manager at Barnsley, and I played throughout my career 4-4-2. They played a sweeper system the year before, so I said, "I'm not playing like that." I changed the system. We were crap, absolutely hopeless. So I had to change it, go back to the system that they all knew, until I could get better players. So it's a very difficult transition, becoming a player, becoming a manager. And being a player manager is even worse, because half time when the manager's supposed to be doing the talking and saying, "We should be doing this, should be doing that," I'm in the corner like that, trying to get breath in for the second half. So it's a nightmare scenario. So gladly you all are past that period, so you won't be doing anything like that. It's hard work, player manager.
Morning, Viv. First of all, it's
how are you?
I'm all right, mate.
From sunny Mallorca?
It's a real pleasure to speak to you without asking for somebody's number.
That's true, and vice versa.
Viv, how far down the line we and are we winning the fight in football in general against racism, which I know you're a big campaigner of?
I thought we were going over the curve, as everybody's saying, with the coronavirus, but in the last couple of years, you look at the Raheem Sterling thing, it still hasn't been clarified. Nobody's been put to book about it. That's 5 months ago. Nobody's doing anything about it. So I thought we were getting over the curve. We seem to have gone back over the last couple of years with all these different incidents. And as I said, that was the other way. I mean, the Sterling thing should have been sorted. Most things are sorted within a week, 2 weeks maximum. That's gone on for months. Nobody's ever said anything. So I think we've gone backwards in many respects.
Right.
Diggs, I mentioned in the introduction, I've described you as a pioneer, as the first black player to play for England in 1970.
You mean old? Do you know what pioneer means? You mean old?
Oh, well, in all fairness, that was 1978, I think it was. And really, that's really not that long ago, really, when you think about it.
It's extraordinary. If you talk to my 12-year-old, that's a million miles away.
Yeah.
I wasn't born, Stu, me and Danny. So.
No, Danny
wasn't born.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I put something out the other day, and I don't do it very often. I got a contract for Stylo Matchmaker, and my fee for wearing their boots was £1. So I put it out on, and Emmy Oleski came back and said, I was 6 months old, Viv, thanks. £1, a 3-year contract for £1.
Thing is, though, Viv,
It's equivalent to £4.67 or something.
God.
And then people come back and say, you overpaid then anyway.
I don't think people would know, though, what was it like for you when you played? Because it was so rife. I remember as a match-going fan in the 80s, late 80s, it was so rife, racism then. It was just part of it. It was just as though it was almost acceptable, totally acceptable. That was just what happened. Extraordinary. Yeah. So different now. I just wondered what it must have been like for you.
I always tell this story, and I mean, all of them, everybody would have heard it by now. But I played at Carlisle. One of my third game, Forest, was at Carlisle. I went to Carlisle, but I was sub this day. I played on the Saturday, and Mr. Clough put me on the subs bench. He says, Anderson, warm up. So I warm up, come back down, sit down. He looks down the line and says, I thought I told you to warm up. I said, I have, big boss. But they were throwing bananas, pears, apples at me. He said, right, come here. He said, get back out there and get me 2 pears and a banana. And he was deadly serious. So afterwards, he pulls me, says, listen, son, if you're going to let these people dictate to you, you're no good to me. So from that day on, I never bothered about anything anybody ever said, because I wanted to play. That's all I wanted to do, to play football. And if I wasn't going to let the people in the stadium or people around me dictate what I do and what I say and what happens to me. So I feel like he was a great manager to have at the right time.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Dan and Wes, I know we use the pioneer word, but you were. I mean, do you think, did you see Viv as something of an inspiration in a way?
100%. He paved, one of the people who paved the way without a shadow of a doubt, and it hasn't disappeared. I just think, like, even when I played, I remember being at Millwall and getting it when I was warming up at Millwall, and you look into the crowd and you think, well, who do you look at? No one owns it. Nobody says it was me that does it. You just kind of got someone, you're hearing it out of the crowd, and different bits growing up that your dad would say to you, and your things that are real to you. But people like Viv were earlier on, and it was more in your face, I'd say, than it is now. It's a little bit more covert nowadays.
I'd be working in Sainsbury's if I'd let them dictate to me, wouldn't I? I mean, you've got to be strong enough and have the broader shoulders to say, listen, what Cloughy said, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have the ability. You've got the ability. It's up to you now to use that ability to the best means you can. And that's playing every week on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, the same. I was probably one of the lucky ones. I probably heard it once, I reckon, when I played, and that was my second game against Barnsley, away from home. Last game of the season, Maisie, in '98. And the manager played loads of young lads, and it just makes you feel terrible. You don't know what to do. But it's just like Viv said, you just sort of blanket, don't you? And you don't let them. You don't want them to win, so you just completely blanket and carry on. But it does happen, and it obviously still happens today. I don't know
just how things have changed, Wes. I was the player manager at Barnsley, and they were fantastic for me.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's probably your small individuals. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But you have, as a player, you've just got to carry on. You've got to try and get it out of your mind, which is hard to do, because really you just want to knock someone out. Do you know what I mean? When it does happen, but you just sort of get on with it, and then your teammates and your managers there for you, and you sort of handle it in that sort of sense. But I'm guessing when Viv was playing, it was absolutely terrible. Do you know what I mean?
We played Newcastle, one of my other early games. He had Tudor, McDonald, that great Newcastle team. So we went up on a Wednesday night, and I go out for the walk. I went to look at the pitch, starter, and I got dogs abuse. So I go back in the dressing room. I say to Mr. Clough, boss, I don't think I can play today. He says, you're playing. That was it. End of story. I'd no get out. You're playing. End of. And we got beat that night. You know, it made me just get on with it. Well,
listen, mate. It's been great having you on today. Thanks. Thanks so much for joining us. We really do. It's good to see you again, mate. It's good to see you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Nice to see you all.
Looking well, Viv.
Ben, get back to Mallorca. And Danny, see you soon, mate.
Take care, man.
Take care, Viv.
Cheers.
Hello, mate.
Viv Anderson, fantastic guy. Joining us on a group chat. Just to let you know, tomorrow we've got yet another treble winner on the show. Jesper Blomqvist will join us, and we've got Giggsy later on this week as well. So keep tuning into the MUTV group chat. Lads, enjoy the day if you can. It looks like you're going to enjoy the day, Ben, with yet another glorious day in the southeast. We'll just put up with a bit of overcast weather.
You'll all be outside tomorrow, I promise. You'll all be outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Enjoy yourself.
All right, Michael Fresh.
Michael.
Take care.
Thanks for that, Danny. Brilliant.
Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.
Cheers,
See you later, everyone.